I'm Roseanne Burton, and I'm here to welcome you to Energy Training for volunteers working with students learning to read. We're going to break this into 4 segments: emergent readers, early readers, transitional readers, and fluent readers. Some of the work you do with the different levels of reading will be the same, and some is based on their needs. And they're called early readers D to I, and it's on this level in your practice. Again, many things are the same. They will be reading words, they will be comprehending what they have. You will be working on high frequency words, and so this time you will be working on the words from 75 to 100 and up to 150 in this area. When you're working with these words with them, with the high frequency words, some people call these snap words because you want the student to look at it and say it that fast. If they have to sound it out, they don't have it correctly. So in order to get credit for knowing the word, they have to say the, a, look, in, and in about that speed. Because of picture, I'm staying in Noisy Breakfast now. Because you're developing vocabulary with them, they can also, during the picture walk, talk about all the things that are happening. They can talk about the fact that he has a whisk. What are they going to do to the egg? So you're building their language base as well as their word base. So it's really more in picture books than the actual words, but what is everything that's going on here? Comprehension. You've read the words, we've talked about the pictures, we're going to ask the questions. So if you can't remember what to ask, there's 5 W's. You probably all know them from school. Who, what, when, where, why. Okay? Who is making the noise? Is it always the same person in the book? Not really. You haven't read the whole book, but no. It isn't always, so they could say who it is. Where is this story taking place? So they should be able to tell you where it's taking place. So they're very easy questions, very easy answers. Now you can take it one step farther. What kind of noise do you make at breakfast? What kind of noise is in your house at breakfast? Or you can have them go back and find a picture that is the best part of breakfast for them. What part would they like? So you are connecting this book to their life, because books don't live in isolation. A little bit more on the phonics in this. By this time they will know their short vowels, and they'll be working on long vowels. The words will start to have endings on them. There will be digraphs like CH and SH. They'll be introduced to some multi-syllable words like noisy and breakfast. So they might not know that they are, but that's when it starts. So it starts very quickly. When they get to these words, they'll be using the beginning sound. They might also find a part of it that they know. Okay, so I'm going to go to the word pop. If they don't know the word pop, maybe in another book they read hop, or another book they read drop. So now they're going to use the OP sound for the op. So if they can't find from just the beginning, they can look at the ending, and then they look at the middle. The last thing you're going to want to ask them to do is the vowel sound. So go from the beginning consonant to the ending consonant, and usually that gives them enough. Listen to them, and they'll try it. They can put in the pop. I want to take, still being in our early readers, that was, the D level was just coming out of the emergent. And it's going to go as high as something like Charlie the Ranch Dog. If you notice on Charlie the Ranch Dog, there are pictures, but there are many lines of print.
What level is this?
This is level H. So when you read Charlie, you're not gonna start it exactly with a picture walk, because the picture's not gonna be that helpful. So you're gonna have to think about it, ranch dog. They might not know about a ranch, and that's okay for this point, because they can learn that in the book. But they might know what a dog does and doesn't do. So you're gonna start by asking, do you know anyone that has a dog? You know that our population probably will not have a dog, and so you have to ask them, do you know anyone that has a dog, or do you know any dogs, and what do dogs like to do? Then you can do a bit of a picture walk, especially because they're they're English language learners, and you can now see that the dog is smelling the bacon. And the story that they tell based on the pictures may or may not be the same as the words. After the dog smells the bacon, smells it again, he doesn't want to get up, but then he goes to his food dish. So you know he's having a hard time getting up. Now, by the time they're up to level H, they already know 150 sight words. So they should read most of the words on this first page without any difficulty. If they don't know 150 sight words, they shouldn't be in this book, because it will be too hard. So I'm going to read the first page to you. Something pokes my nose. Go away. I am so sleepy. I peel one eyelid open. Mama holds a juicy piece of bacon. So they would know my, go away, something, I am so, I one, open, holds a, of. So they know almost all of that. Now, they can make some mistakes on a page. We use a 5-finger rule. On a book of this level of difficulty, if they miss 5 words, it would be too hard. But if you take and you look at like 2 pages together and they miss 5 words, the book would be too hard. There will be many books leveled at this level H. Some will be easy for them, some will be hard. And if they start missing 5 words on a page, then you'll just say, let's put this book away and we'll try it in a couple weeks. If they spend all of their time figuring out words, their comprehension will suffer. They will not be able to maintain the thought process that is needed for doing that. So if they miss a word like juicy and they try it as juice and you tell them juicy, you keep right on moving because you're building their comprehension. Continue on a little bit more with early readers. On the comprehension, when you are working with them and they sort of know an answer, encourage them to go back and look. What kind of bacon was it? Well, they'll find the word juicy. Or you could go back and say, find the word that tells what kind of bacon it was. So when you ask them to go back to find a specific word, you're teaching them to reread. You're letting them know. If they're not sure of a question you've asked, always encourage them to go back and read. If they can't find it, you can always help them with the page, and then they can find the word. Okay. All right. If it's a nonfiction book, they're going to tell you the main idea and give you some details about it. So ideally, they would read both, but they will read what they have here, and that's where it would go. If they tell you they're ready for another level, and they aren't ready to be assessed yet, and they absolutely want to try it, get that old 5-finger rule out. If they make 5 mistakes on one page, it's definitely too hard. If they read it fluently with all the words correct, but they can't answer your questions, then it's too hard. They should answer about 3/4 of the questions you ask them, including the hard questions. So you can't have them just answer all the easy questions like who did this or what was it or where was it. They have to be answered some why questions or how do you know that. Otherwise we're not doing their brains a service.